Nigel Cecil, Equity as you like it.
Greetings, Chakabatis, on a glorious sunny afternoon. Welcome to all my equitable friends.
Cobblers to your equitable friends.
And cobblers to you too, but I'll still send strawberries and love.
Especially for Nigel's equitable friends.
Hello, Chakabatis. Thank you for joining me, moi, Nigel Cecil, entertainment entrepreneur, with this little bit of info entertainment about show business and other allied matters across the United Kingdom. Hilary, what have you got for me, please? You're out sunbathing again, Hilary, because we're on location and I can't blame Hilary for enjoying themselves in the sun. What? Get on with it. Yes, well, apparently the topic that's been raised by many getting in touch with Hilary and moi is Gary Lineker. Gary Lineker. And Hilary expects me to do a video explaining about the psychology of celebrity and how it works. I'm going to do this one first, Hilary. For once, no, you can't stop me. I'm going to say what I actually think. Yes, because Gary Lineker, an acclaimed footballer, tremendous history in football, and of course a long-standing presenter of BBC's Match of the Day, made a tweet, and there was a big furore. Sack him. What's he said? He's mentioned that. He's dared to mention Germany. What's going on? And suddenly, woof! It's as though the heavens have caved in, and everybody's baying for blood from one person or another. And they're saying, now, Nigel, what do you think? Well, I think it's terrible. What's going on is shocking. I've never really seen anything like it for years. And so when it comes to asking moi what I think of Gary Lineker, well, Gary, I'm with you. I'm on your side, yes, and I'll tell you for why. And if you want to know the reasons in detail, please watch my next video. But Gary, let's get things straight. Gary is not a politician. Gary didn't stand for election in some sort of general election or other in order to be elected to represent the people. No, Gary is, a celebrity, a footballing legend, and, well, he's not even, can I say this one, Hilary? Yes, I mean, presenting Match of the Day is not even, a Jersey Royal or a King Edward. No, he's a commentator. He's one of us. He's not a politician. You can meet Gary's down in the pub every weekend. The only thing is, he's got lots of fans. But those fans are there because they like Gary. They're not particularly interested in politics or whatever. No, they're interested in the legend that is Gary Lineker. But you see, politicians and other movers and shakers look at what celebrities have done and then they make comments. Now, let's be fair. When it comes to using social media, you've probably only got a 1 in 4 chance of avoiding anybody having a go at you, because you can either do something that's the wrong place and the wrong time, or the wrong place and the right time, or the right place and the wrong time, or the right place and the right time. So when anybody looks at your tweets, you've only got a 1 in 4 chance of them agreeing with you. But if you've got 7 million followers and somebody comments about you, they're going to say, hey, hang on a minute, this is the guy we know down at the pub. We've heard things like this said every Friday night in the pub. So are you having a go? So, let's just remind ourselves of those 4 things. a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right on social media if you've got those determined to have a go at you. So you can never really win. But you see, politicians and others seem to think that celebrities who are not associating themselves directly with political matters, well, when they say something critical, well, it's going to affect our ratings. No. It's you who's going to affect your own ratings if you take on a celebrity. Because naturally, everybody else is going to say, hang on, he's just an ordinary guy. He's not standing to be Prime Minister. He's just making a comment. And a lot of us agree with that comment. Oh, no, say the other side. A lot of us don't. And here the algorithm kicks in. The algorithm. Yes, because newspapers, media, actually, people say they make the news. No. Generally, they follow what's going to generate a response. And so what started off as a little tweet, and then someone in government suddenly said, oh, that's not helpful. What? That's the government said it. Well, we'll have a go now. Why? Because the movers and shakers, the real activists, well, they want to attack the government, and the government want to attack them. And suddenly it becomes a crisis for the BBC. Out of what? A little tweet from a celebrity sports presenter. Come on, get real, everybody. Just get real. Stop that algorithm taking control and the newspapers clinging on to it because they know, say something that someone's been critical about Gary. Whoa, the sales will go up, the viewers will go up. Say something, and it just goes on and on and on and on. It's crazy. Gary Lineker is not a politician. He's a celebrity who presents Match of the Day. Will all you politicians and everyone else get real and leave him alone? Is it a crisis for the BBC? Yes, because the BBC and the government are making it one. Just look at this. Crisis? What crisis? It's not been manufactured by Gary Lineker. It's not been manufactured by his fans. It's not really been manufactured by those who don't like Gary. It's been manufactured by mainstream media going along with the algorithm of, well, if we print this, it's going to get a good reaction. It's going to up the ratings on TV, you see. And then, of course, it opens another can of worms because some say, well, how did Match of the Day do on Saturday? He got more viewers. What? The viewing figures are up. The last Saturday's equivalent of Match of the Day fill-in substitute, whatever it is, and someone will say, well, you see, we don't need Gary. A load of gobblers, nothing to do with that. I support Gary because that result of the viewing figures are going up is because of all the algorithm nonsense of people saying, what's going to happen? Is he going to get sacked? Is he going to remain? And people will say, well, let's see what went on. And of course, Gary did the right thing by saying, eventually, right at the end, I'm not able to comment. In fact, I think it's credible that Gary hasn't really made any comment once the brouhaha started. So the summary then is, Nigel, moi, I'm with Gary, indeed. And of course, for those, I understand they've now decided they've come to some sort of, yes, they're going to have an investigation to look at the rules. Well, that'll be fun, but he's not a politician. Now, in fact, if the BBC, which they do, if you're presenting a political programme, a general subject programme that could stray into politics, then it's probably appropriate, indeed it should be, to say, hang on, don't you actually give biased political opinion? But as I've said, this is sports programme. It's nothing to do with politics. So if Gary wants to say something in his ordinary life about politics, why not? Different if you've been elected to a position to represent people especially. Like in fact, some would say about the General Secretary of Equity, because they have a personal Twitter account, but they were elected to that position by the members. So should they be free to make political statements? That's a subject for another time. But as far as Gary Lineker is concerned, I'm with Gary. And remember BBC, remember the government, remember the opposition. There is never a wrong time to make the right decision. So in this case of Gary Lineker, make it, because Gary Lineker isn't to blame. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, no, put that up on the screen if you want then. There's never a wrong time to make the right decision. And indeed, I should apologise to Gary Lineker, because everyone knows it. Well, do they? Do they, Hilary? Or do they just assume that if you mention a celebrity's name, it's probably going to get you more attention? But have I asked Gary's permission? Is Gary getting any money, any credit because someone has used their name? But that's what politicians do all the time. Just imagine if Gary was to get, what, a penny for every time someone mentions Gary's name, he'd have made probably more than £1 million just on this current debacle. People just assume they can use the celebrity's name to create a story. So Gary, my apologies, because really in a way it might sound funny, but there is a principle there, because I've used Gary's name and will it attract more viewers? Because at the moment, Nigel, who cares what Nigel says? Only got a few hundred views, yes. But suddenly if you get a lot of views, the politicians and everyone else start taking notice and get worried. They've missed the point of what celebrity is all about. So to summarise again, I'm with you, Gary. Go for it. Say what you think. Because on a scale out of 10, that last tweet was what? Probably what? Worth 3 out of 10 in terms of possibly offending others. I mean, if you get 10 out of 10, then you really have got a problem. But let's not go down. What? Let's not go down that, Hilary. No, Joe Caruni. Thank you, Hilary. Is it something suitable? Hilary chooses the Jokeroonies to finish off with. Oh, yes. What do celebrity footballers do when the heat is on? Yes, what do celebrity footballers do when the heat is on? They get closer to some of their fans. They get closer to some of their fans. No doubt Gary will be taking comfort from the support he's had from his fans. So until the next time, the next video, we're going to be looking at the psychology of celebrity and how politicians and activists use them 9 out of 10 without their permission. Meantime, I'm going to move my strawberries closer to the fans, are we? It's warm in here. Yes, thank you very much, everyone. It really is warm here. Strawberries and love to everyone.
Nigel Cecil, Equity as you like it.